Well, alrighty then, the top of the morning to you guys. A new day has broken and we are ready for another fresh experience on Wake Up Nigeria.
We rise earlier than the sun and we love it just because we want to be right here for you when you get out of bed.
Oh yes, you bet. We also don't mind being the reason that you guys get out of bed, so just in case that's the reason why you're on
Yes,
your sofas and couches, it's okay. But welcome, you are welcome to this brand new day and never before seen episode of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's going to be time well spent with us, we promise. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. Stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Remember to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC when you come across any of our social media platforms.
Ah, yes. Also, you can download our app. It's free, available on download for Android and iOS store. And hey, you can watch us on your mobile devices with them from anywhere you might be in the world.
So when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get that notification set up so that every single time a new video drops,
you get it. Ding, ding.
Yes, sir.
Also, join us on IG Live on Friday. It's only tomorrow. Oh, it's here. The week is over.
As in already, we're already here.
2:30 p.m. We're going to bring you someone special for a chat on Wake Up Extra. Yeah, and I can't wait for everybody to see what Tokwe is wearing today.
Wow.
She's got legs for days. Actually, I'm trying to focus on the camera, but she's just right next to it.
No,
I'm a bit distracted. Okay.
You know what? Let me just tell everyone what we're doing today. While you sort that process out.
Yeah, it's a problem. I'm going to sort it. Alrighty.
Hey, yeah. This
Morning, everybody.
morning.
Morning, Mike.
guys.
Morning,
How
Tokwe.
far?
Morning.
What? What?
No.
Mazino has been all about your look this morning.
It's
but
the
it is a
attack
really
of the
beautiful
legs.
dress.
Thank you.
Beautiful dress.
I am Mike and I'm not talking.
What's with the legs?
We're not having.
Tokwe, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
Okay.
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, you know what? Let me make this a little bit more wholesome.
Okay.
Back to school
Back
is
to
a
school.
real thing, y'all.
It's a real drag.
So I was gonna ask, what was it that you always used to ask your parents to get for you when you knew you were gonna resume school as a
School
child?
bag.
School bag, Abi?
Shuttle. Do you remember shuttle? Too
Shuttle
young.
bag.
Shuttle bag.
Yeah.
These are the people that I'm
But I
related
didn't
to.
call it shuttle. I used to call it scuttle
bag.
Yes.
What was it
Okay,
like?
so back in the
How did you
80s, they were the most premium school bags that
Yeah.
you could have. And if you didn't have them going back to school on a new term,
You were not cool.
you're not cool.
What
Yeah.
did they look like?
They're backpacks.
It's a backpack, but
They're
then the
really
logo was just
strong.
always on the back at a
Yeah.
particular position,
Shuttle.
embroidered in.
Oh, no, I had to have a new Barbie bag.
Barbie.
Barbie.
Is this
Wow.
Had to be
next
She
generation
had to be
Z.
the big
What about you? What was
Barbie.
your favorite thing to ask for?
Scubia.
Oh my days.
It depends.
What?
Secondary
That's
school, primary
Scubia.
school.
Okay, let's start from
So-
primary school.
There's
Start from primary.
a way. There's sometimes you don't ask for anything.
Your
Parents will
results
talk with the teachers
don't
and know
know
what
whether
you
you
want.
deserve.
So if you ask, maybe that's the newer generation. You don't ask.
Okay.
So they know before they know what you want. So you don't pack. There's a way you can ask.
I know, Mike, the worst one is if you have older ones, they always want to give you
Oh
hand-me-downs.
my days.
I hated
I
hand-me-down.
hated it because the point where I like it, you are still wearing it.
Okay, but
when
wait,
you're
but
handing it down to me, I don't
parents
like
give
it
hand me
anymore.
downs now.
Well, they do. I do.
I don't know, I've only got one kid, so...
Oh, so I have so it's that hand-me-down thing is on another level. On another level.
I do know that clothes that, this is very, very interesting now. My mother is very good at keeping stuff. So clothes that I used, my daughter actually used.
Yeah. My mom saved. Yeah, my mom saved my,
daughter used
my
it.
outfit from my christening. She saved it. But the thing is, I have twins, so they couldn't actually wear it. But then the blankets, different blankets, and then what they used to call baby grow. That's like a bodysuit now.
Oh,
baby
okay,
grow.
okay.
My kids used all of them. Yeah.
That means they're original
that's crazy.
material.
Yeah.
So because if you put them in washing machine these days now, that is the reason is washing machine. You should use hard. That's why they will stay.
So they know how
because
to
if you use washing
use
machine, I don't know how to
machine
stay that long from.
Long.
I mean, your childhood to your
To
own child's
childhood.
childhood. Nah,
But
that's
that's
too long.
beautiful.
So I wanted to go back to the back to school thing. My own was stationery and pencil case. Okay, so
I know your
yeah,
type.
so I had
But
this
they have to match.
Friends.
All those
Friends,
matching
the TV
stationery.
show Friends, the when
Yeah.
they had merchandise
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
I had pencils of Rachel,
let's say-
Ross, Joey.
And
I
you'd be happy.
had the whole set. So if anyone was missing, I knew which one was missing. Imagine. And then If you don't have eraser, sharpener, you're on your
All
own.
brand new. All brand new.
Because nobody will borrow you.
Nobody will borrow you. That first few days, you'll not be thinking about your life. I mean, I don't have, when I did not do well in the previous term, I'll just be like,
about your life.
You'll not be thinking, because your classmates will not be in your front.
With new one. Yes,
And
no.
they're not really sharpening anything, but just because those used to see.
Talking about life, I'll never forget the first time I actually sat back and thought of my life.
Really?
Like when you think of your life, like, what am I going to do in this life, safe? When I saw my first semester year 1 results. That's the first time ever I thought about my life.
So what am I
Because
doing?
I've always been, I mean, come on, I'm never the one to go check for results, right, from secondary school and everything, yeah? But getting to university was a different ball game.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was.
Year 1, year 2, plenty distractions, man.
Yeah.
And you're thinking,
So he means the girls.
no, God. So, and then it just happened like this.
Now maybe this.
What's
I have
gonna
to
happen?
focus.
I have to focus. No, this one is like, man, focus, can focus to this thing. Should we just play on through and just...
Everybody had that experience in their very first year. I had the same experience
Oh, I
myself. My
did.
first year wasn't exactly fantastic, but after I decided that this life, this jam that jammed me, we're going to make it work. I became very good
That's the funny
after
thing.
that.
That's the funny thing. Jam, Bayek, everything was
Jam
just
jams
once.
you.
For me, so
Yeah.
I was always top of it. You know, it was always like everything. No, and so I tell people that, you see, people, when you hear things like you shouldn't sleep 8 hours a day, you're sleeping, others are working, understand that people
You
have
shouldn't have your
different
sleep.
capabilities.
Yeah,
Do you
true.
understand? I was the one that wouldn't, I've never solved maths. I would just open and read my maths
And you
textbook
get-
and all that, and then, you
Wow.
know. So when I went to university, I was just thinking, I think it was just like that, man.
Bad guy.
It's all
You know
good.
what?
So life is just, can do you strong things.
Tell you what we're going to do now. Let's do the news. Talk with Scott that one. And we'll be somewhere in the wings waiting for everything else is to come.
Yes, we begin the news this hour in Bayelsa State, where the state government has approached the Supreme Court seeking an order to stop the federal government from deducting monies from its statutory allocation and paying them to Rivers State. The cause of action arose from December 2019's judgment of a federal high court against the National Boundary Commission, which ceded the oil-rich Soko fields in Rivers State. Also, the Bayelsa state government is seeking an interlocutory injunction asking the Supreme Court to stop revenue mobilization allocation and fiscal commission from withholding its statutory allocation or deducting it in favor of Akwa Ibom State. No date has been fixed for hearing.
In that particular judgment, Bayelsa State was not a party to the judgment. They sued the National Boundary Commission in respect of the Suku case, and Bayelsa State was not a party. In the second one, the Akwa Ibom one, they sued the Revenue Mobilization Commission, and Bayelsa State government was not a party. So the purport of this is that Bayelsa State government is not supposed to be bound by that.
During the FEC meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the Nigeria at 60 logo as the countdown to the country's Diamond Jubilee begins. Earlier in September, the federal government had called on Nigerians to submit creative ideas that can brand the anniversary, which is themed Together at 60.
With a deep feeling of national pride, and I hereby announce to you that together shall we be the theme of our nation's 60th anniversary celebration. Our founding fathers, in spite of the differences in faith, tribe, and tongue, came together to fight for Nigeria's independence. This shall be a befitting tribute to the struggles of our heroes past. It is to the glory of God and in celebration of the attainment of the diamond age of 60 by our great nation that I hereby unveil the prepared anniversary logo for this momentous occasion.
14 days. That's the ultimatum given to the federal government by the Nigeria Labour Congress to reverse the increase in electricity tariffs and fuel price. The decision was reached at the end of the Congress National Administrative Council and Central Working Committee meetings in Abuja. NLC President Ayuba Waba says the twin increments are having adverse effects on the people and should be reversed in the interest of the masses.
the Central Working Committee resolves to issue a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to reverse or face industrial action and peaceful assembly. In furtherance to this, Central Working Committee resolved also to convey the meeting of the National Executive Council in line with our Constitution on the 22nd of September 2020, Tuesday, to also give effect to this decision.
There is a looming fuel scarcity in the Federal Capital Territory and other parts of northern Nigeria due to the shutdown of the link roads to Minna to heavy-duty trucks. The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association has now ordered the immediate stoppage of distribution of petroleum products from Lagos to the northern parts of the country till further notice. PTD, in a statement signed by its national chairman, Salimon Oladiti, explained that the only alternative road is a death trap. The union is asking the Ministry of Works to do palliative and remedial works on the Bidda-Agai-Lapai-Lambata road to make it motorable and safer from hoodlums. The Nigerian Air Force is scaling up operations in the northwest and north-central geopolitical zones of the country to address security concerns there. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, made this known after an operational visit to the Air Force base in Kaduna. He thereafter inspected some ongoing research and development projects, as well as a road project in the base being executed pro bono by a construction firm based in Kaduna. He also visited 431 Engineering Group hangar, where work is ongoing on the Diamond aircraft and other Nigerian Air Force platforms. It is now legal for male rape convicts in Kaduna to be castrated and bilateral slabectomy for females. This comes to effect as the Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai signed the Kaduna State Penal Code Amendment Law 2020. This is contained on the governor's verifiable Twitter handle. The law provides stiff penalties upon conviction for the rape of a child, including surgical castration for male and bilateral salpingectomy for female convicts. The government believes the move would keep rapists in check, especially against juveniles. Well, that's it on your news updates for this hour, but we'll take a break.
So, ladies, gentlemen, and boys and girls even, let's do the national dailies this morning. All the headlines from the dailies that you would be finding this morning. We're going to start from the Nation newspaper, if you will. Today is Thursday, September 17th, 2020. The Nation newspaper has this as its first major headline: petrol, electricity prices, Labour issues ultimatum. Federal governments to examine requests, says Ngige. Protests in Lagos, Osun. At the top of the Nation, 30 sectors showed negative growth in half year. And on page 25, NNPC begins refineries rehabilitation. PH plant ready 2023. Terrorists create camp in Oyo North, says Adams. Eight injured as Jegede Akeredolu supporters clash. The photo story on the Nation this morning, that's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and President Muhammadu Buhari during the unveiling of the logo for Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary at the Presidential Villa in Abuja just yesterday. And PACAC alleges plot to scrap EFCC. Senate reps should reject bill, says Sage, and will forge a more united Nigeria at 60. 12-month activity begin. Those are the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. And we will move on now to the Vanguard newspaper. Fuel and electricity, NLC draws battle line with FG. First big headline there. Issues 11-day ultimatum. Gives government till September 28th to reverse hikes. Says cost of electricity more than minimum wage in some places. NLC's CWC resolves to issue ultimatum. Waba and a Lagos police arrest release 50 protesters, including Vanguard photojournalists. TUC ultimatum misplaced, say Ngige. Nigeria, most prosperous black nation in the world, says Buhari. And NNPC set to revive refineries. U.S. reviews ban on migrants' visas as Nigeria meets 90% requirements. And FG will ensure Nigerian traders in Ghana get justice, says Osinbajo. And blasphemy. It's wrong to sentence 13-year-old to 10 years jail term, UNICEF tells Kano government. At the top of the vanguard, Nigeria divided before Buhari, says the presidency, and fuel crisis looms in FCT, entire north, as PTD orders tanker drivers to halt product lifting. VEC, OK's new anti-corruption agency in FG, projects Nigeria's economy to recover in first quarter 2021. The front page for The Sun, the Daily Sun. Again, police abort power fuel price hike protest in Lagos. In arrest, detain 35 as NLC gives FG 14 days to reverse increase or face total shutdown. TUC ultimatum misplaced, says Ngige. And that a photo of the president unveiling the Nigeria 60 logo once again, making a reappearance on the Daily Sun. To the side of that, police arresting protesters, processing members of the Joint Action Force, or Front rather, and civil society group who were demonstrating against the recent hike in fuel price and electricity tariff. This just yesterday. Economy will recover in early 2021, says the federal government, to create crime proceeds recovery agency. 5 injured as APC PDP supporters clash in Ondo State. Ekiti Osun moved to end boundary dispute and fuel price. And NPC steps up efforts to revamp refineries. Put Harcourt Refinery ready first quarter 2023. At the top of the paper, Masab renews vow for Biafra struggle. Incessant killings of Igbo will break Nigeria, says IPOB, and stop provoking us, Ohaneze warns the army. The Daily Trust is our next front page here. First big headline, NLC poised for showdown, gives government 2 weeks ultimatum. It's a misplaced decision, says the FG, and protests rock Lagos. Osun fuel scarcity looms in FCT North. 10 killed, many passengers missing in Borno attack, and El Rufai gives 100 million naira for Kaduna Cultural Hub. Flood kills 7-year-old boy, destroys 900 houses in Zamfara State. Down the page here, the photo story, Army, a marshal in uniform here, an armed female soldier punishes a commercial bike rider at Maraba in Nasarawa State yesterday, and Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi denies supporting My Lafia. Foundation seeks apology. Bottom of the page, FG, Nigeria at 60 celebration to last 1 year, and how 1976 LG Forum caused insecurity in North by Lawan, and concerns over rising attacks on Abuja-Kaduna train. And that's as much as we can take for this hour here for the National Dailies. We will bring you more. You just stay tuned. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazina Appeal.
Hello and good morning. Welcome back. It's about time for us to give you some insight on which routes to take and which to avoid this morning. Let's see what we can do to make your journey this morning quicker and easier with the Lagos traffic updates. Now, I'm starting my journey from Ojodu Bega right now, and it does seem to be a little slow, but not that bad if you're coming along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. By the time you get to Alausa, you're going to be slowing down just a little bit. By the time you pass 7-Up, it's home free all the way till you get to the Ojota junction. It'll slow you down a little bit there as well, but heading towards Third Mainland Bridge, heading towards the island is not too bad. According to what I have here, it's going to take you about 30 minutes to make that journey if you leave right now. The usual trouble spots, Ogudu Junction and of course Oworu will slow you down, but as soon as you get onto Third Mainland Bridge, it should be nice and easy. That journey doesn't look like it has any hindrances at all. Let's look along the bridge just to be sure. I think Ikoyi does have a little bit of a slow look right now, but nothing too difficult, nothing we can't handle. I'm going to check out some other routes now, and hopefully the guys in the kitchen have some updates from social media.
Do I begin?
Yes.
Quick reference here on Twitter regarding the Oshodi or Shoki route. Like your
Let me just, if you
person
put that route around me,
trauma.
is what the PTSD.
That's what it is. But this is it. This is it for this morning. If this is your route, stay home. Don't go anywhere. I used that route this morning, actually, but it was very early, so there wasn't any traffic. But I know exactly why it is so, because there's a big gulf right in the middle of the road at some point just before Bagada, and it's causing everybody to slow down. It's already one lane because the major road is being repaired. So everybody's using one lane, and the trucks are all over the place, and then there's this humongous groove. Stay at home.
Wow, you just tell your boss, I'm not coming, I'm staying
I can't make it. It's not possible.
It seems like a joke, but if you go out, your life will be a joke. It seems like a joke. Oh, no, you see, when you don't experience something, but you stay there.
Let's allow Titi to give other updates.
No, this is serious.
Sometimes when Mike says stuff,
it seems like a joke. Like Mazina just tried to make us laugh. It's not.
There are some roads you need to avoid. If you can find an alternative, please do. I know that some people actually take our advice literally. I actually heard someone clipped, one of our videos and sent it to his boss. That didn't you hear what they said on traffic update?
As evidence.
I don't know if it worked or not, but the clip got to his boss, so we need to be really careful. If you're coming from Ajah area of Lagos right now, trying your best to move all the way to VI. It's not that harsh of a journey, although the Ajah junction is really slow at this point. For some reason, people coming from Ado Road to the Ajah shopping mall heading towards Ikota are going to have a little bit of a delay. But all in all, if you stay on the main Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, you should have about a 34-minute journey. Should you choose to take the alternative route and avoid the toll gate, you might have a little longer journey. In fact, not just a little, 45 minutes, in fact. So it is longer to take the shortcut at this point. I'm going to be heading into the kitchen. And what's up and about, guys?
Yo.
What's up and about in Lagos?
Hey.
So when we have our Wonder Woman Wednesday, I feel like we have the most interesting gist ever. So Mazino and Mike.
No, this one will be sweet.
Shoot your shot.
She know one designer. She know one Ferrari.
Hey, who doesn't want Ferrari?
Yeah, bro.
Did you mention Ferrari?
She's saying my love.
Which love?
Ferrari has been trending all day since yesterday.
See, when your father takes you out, what does he buy for you?
Yogurt that time.
It's not liquid. It's not like liquid that evaporated.
Oh my God!
There was no real yogurt when we were growing up.
But no, come on. I had a premium dad. What do you mean?
When your dad takes you out, what does he buy for you?
I had a premium dad.
That's the new shade.
No,
when
but-
this one is talking to you and I say, wait. When your father takes you out, what does he buy for you? If he cannot buy you a Ferrari on just a hangout,
So fathers, they came
who's
up
your
against
daddy?
us. They came up against fathers
Who is
yesterday.
us? Uncle, you are a single man. I put it to you that you are a single man.
You put it to me.
I put it to you.
How can I be putting something to me that's...
Well, let's land it here. I mean,
No.
Are you talking about?
If you don't know, don't worry.
exactly
You are not-
true. Because
If
it
you
was
don't know what I'm
almost
talking about, you're
But
not
you see,
in
something
Nigeria.
quite interesting yesterday is that fathers really were in for it yesterday. Everybody went,
As in?
and then so at some point it was bans, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like we're joking now. Hey, my father bought me yogurt, and then someone actually took it very serious and started insulting their parents.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Very some people really.
The fathers came on the flag yesterday.
You understand?
And it was, well, I don't see the reason why. First off, let's tell exactly what this was about. It was about, you all know, Otedola getting his babies, his girls, Ferraris. I don't know how many,
It was
but
not him getting it. Was the way copy posted it.
Now
You know that
the-
copy, eh? The other two, they're very calm.
Yeah.
Copy just post it there and say, we just went on shopping. And
do you
maybe you're thinking
understand?
like, okay, we'll buy one shoe and one
but we came back with Ferraris.
Ha!
As in,
who's
but the
your
thing
daddy?
is, seriously, yeah, I'm thinking, is it a bit too much? Even if you're a rich father, I mean, I don't
My
know.
dear, it's our poverty that is speaking.
No.
I hear you on that. But guess what? There are some like people of our age now are wondering, if what their parents did for them was enough.
Was enough or not?
A lot of people are on the fence about whether what their parents did was to drive them, to push them to do harder, work harder, or they actually put them back in life. So it depends on which side of that track you're on.
looking at, yeah.
So I can still remember this conversation with my dad, and he's probably watching now. I remember that we couldn't get apples. We couldn't buy apples. at random. So if we were buying apples, it meant there was a special
It was a big occasion, yeah.
And my dad, so
special
apples
premium.
were really expensive
Yeah.
then.
Expensive.
Now it's more common to get apples. But apples then were such a big deal. And even when we wanted to get the apples, he'd be like, we have to slice it in half.
Yeah, you take one
you
half,
take half,
you take
the
the
other
other.
person
give
takes half.
Right? And till today, with my own kids,
Unconsciously.
You still
I
have
have
that
like 10
disposition
apples
about
in
you
the
will
apples.
still
fridge.
share one.
I will still share one. I try to kind of minimize the expectations
Yeah.
of
You
what
know,
should
let me
be.
jump
I
on
don't
that,
know.
Titi.
I
Let me jump
get
on
you,
that.
I get
Now, I
you.
remember my mother handing, or rather a lady handing her son an entire egg when I was a kid. And my mother said, no, don't do that. Cut it in half and let him have one.
Yeah.
And it was the culture back then. It's the
Yeah.
culture that was being put inside or put in us to note that, hey, you can't have it all, especially
yeah.
not at one time.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
have a little now, a little later. But the culture seems to have shifted and changed totally these days because you have fathers, $10, who is giving babies Ferraris, and then the rest of us are left to think that, is my life incomplete? Did I have a problem with my life?
No, I don't think anyone's
think
life is
anything like
incomplete
that.
just because they don't have a fancy car.
There are different ways to look at this in very different ways. Half an egg to a $10, that might be half an egg.
Exactly.
Maybe copy asking for private jets. And he looked
Say
at
no.
it. You need, no, let's give you half
But yeah,
private jet.
take it here.
Take
Fee
Ferrari.
one or two.
Seriously. So you see, it's all
Yeah.
about perception. So to him, it might just be,
Well, let me come from another angle now.
Okay.
I saw this documentary yesterday, The Social Dilemma. It's about how social media is actually changing cultures. The fact is, we would have had all these kinds of things happen in the past, but because we have that tool, social media,
media.
it's an unfair advantage to culture because we've never seen this kind of communication before. We've never seen these kinds of information being broadcast and put out there into people's consciousness.
Yeah.
At the level that we're seeing it now. So that in itself is an unfair advantage for the culture that we are setting going forward for other people.
Yeah.
The use of social media is kind of like, it's like saying maybe you take Wikipedia or a dictionary, which is supposed to be a standard. What's the meaning of this? That's the meaning.
Yeah.
But now you're saying I'm going to give everybody a separate dictionary and say this dictionary
Yeah,
means a
I
different
get
thing
you,
to you,
to
means a
you,
different thing to
different
you.
thing to you.
Look at the confusion it caused yesterday. Now people are questioning their upbringing and everything and asking whether their parents did right or wrong by
I
giving
think
them
it's
half
rather
an egg or no.
unfortunate for individuals to think that, I mean, maybe there are some parents that didn't do so well, but I feel like in everything, you just like how Titi said, she can see how she still divides an apple. Does not mean that she can't give the children full apples, but there are just some things that forms you. And for me now, my dad not buying me a Ferrari, but there are so many other great things my dad did that I know were sacrificial, and then I know
Let me give you one.
formed me.
Time. Time is the biggest gift you can give to a child.
Yes.
In the past few weeks since after joining Wake Up Nigeria, I beg you, Jerry.
So that time thing. So now, what you spend the time doing is also very, very important.
Yeah.
So what Otedola spent his time
is my
doing,
No.
and that could have probably been his
But
only
Titi,
10 minutes
let
in
me-
the
let me
whole
land this
past
here.
1 month he had
See
to
this
with
here.
Kids, yes.
And he decided, let me use it to go and shop.
But looky here,
He
guys.
spends time doing what? The only time you know he spends time with
Buying gelato in Italy.
is when they're buying gelato. Exactly.
It's not you,
Exactly. Why is it that when you're spending time with your kids, it's trendy?
complex.
Are you kidding me?
This is what I'm saying.
They probably haven't seen him in like a month.
Forget who told you go market.
And it seems like Mike
All
is
you're
dating-
seeing is what's on
Mike is
social
dating
media,
one
what
of
they
the
want you
sisters.
to see.
Exactly.
He's so,
He might not
so
be spending that
informed.
much time with the girls.
You are trying to give excuse to
That,
try to
the
get
gifts might just be...
No! They bought Ferrari. If he pay you, he paying
Mike,
you.
wait, Mike, let me tell you
Come on,
something as a
what-
father.
what-
Let me tell you
come
something
on,
as a
what I'm
father.
saying.
Past couple of weeks that I've been here, when I get home, I'm often very tired. And my daughter comes to me on Monday and he says, Daddy, why are you always asleep when I come home? And it was so painful
Aw, hello,
that I
Daddy.
promised myself that on Tuesday and Wednesday, yesterday, I was going to make sure that I do my sleeping before she gets back home, and then make sure I spend all the time she's awake with her all evening. That is a very precious gift.
You know something?
Yeah.
You know something about Otedola?
Very precious.
In about the last 3 years, in fact, about 2 years back, he has retired off the board of many of the companies he's in charge of. In fact, some of them he sold them off. If you notice the pictures he's posting, he's either in Monte Carlo or in France on holiday.
Absolutely casual.
Baba, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I can tell you authoritatively that he is on a chill P. Baba is on his retirement level now. If you look at him, what he has been doing, sold some companies, dropped off the board, chilling.
Yeah,
and you know,
but-
I know something. That is one man that you see him go for his daughter's parties. So if it's about time, he does.
Yeah,
Especially
but
he does.
maybe
So-
what if he's trying to pay back for time that he has not
Exactly.
spent?
Time
we're all-
lost.
we're all
These are
trying to-
adults now. They're no
lost.
longer
Time
children,
lost.
mind you.
Time
we're all
lost.
we're all trying to think. What if he's a? Oh, can't he be that father that has?
Oh,
that
no,
can
he
spend the
can,
time
he can.
and give the money.
Of
also?
course he can.
My point generally, what I'm trying to say is that in all of this, yeah, with your parents for what they got for you, this should not be the reason to stick your parents.
They
or
shouldn't
think
set
about
the
them.
standard.
Yeah.
Because the
shouldn't
truth
be.
is, even
It
if you're
shouldn't be.
if you're complaining that
It
your
shouldn't
parents
be.
can't buy you a Ferrari,
Yeah.
look at this. If they buy you the Ferrari now, can you maintain it?
Exactly.
Because the standard of living that they have,
Insurance
the standard of
alone
living-
is one car every month.
If you can't be time, you
Anyhow.
can't buy.
Let's say, but great conversation,
Come back.
Titi. Great conversation, Tokwe. Great conversation, Mike Mesikeno Tedola.
I know, right? But there's something we
I
don't
said,
know.
so if you want to get married to DJ Copy now, I should cheat on you. You're not gonna.
This one will change his
you
name.
go, I will change my name to You just
Wow.
on me. I say, baby, I
This
need to do
topic
better.
just turned on his
I
head.
need to do better, baby.
We have to wrap this up at this point, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Use our social media handles and the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Mike Mesikeno
See you in
Tedola.
a bit.
That's what's up.
Everyone's going to be learning.
But I wanted to touch on what, we do go around the world with Chef Nathaniel when it comes to his meals, but I posted a link on our group. I don't know if you saw it.
Which one was
So there
that?
was this clip of these two young Nigerians living abroad, and they're basically sneaking into their car with all their luggage because they need to get to the airport so that they can come back to Nigeria. And then one of them says, shouldn't we, maybe leave a note to say that we've left? And then the sister says, no, don't tell anybody we're going anywhere. So at that part of the video, I was thinking, people don't tell anybody where they're traveling.
No, it's a Yoruba thing.
It's not just a Yoruba thing. Come on.
It's not people.
Come on.
It's not people. You don't.
Come
It's
on.
not people.
You do.
I'm sorry.
So many
I'm
different
sorry.
reasons.
No, don't say people. It's you.
No,
You and
no.
you and your
Come on,
life.
come on.
Wait,
Don't worry.
some-
Wait, calm
some
down.
people, some
So the
people.
reason in this particular clip was because as soon as you tell somebody you're coming back to Nigeria,
True,
first
yeah.
thing is,
Bring load.
please
today.
help
Can
me
you help me
carry this
carry?
one.
Yes.
Please, my auntie need this one here.
Yes,
Or this-
there's always somebody who
As
has
in,
something
about
to
crazy.
say.
Talking about not telling people. The trend now is after you giving birth, you now do pregnancy shoots.
Honestly. Like
So,
the
but I-
baby
Or you
came
launch
after.
it.
Culture, tradition, and whichever way
Yeah.
people feel that people feel differently
Superstitious
about
belief,
exactly
yes.
about telling people things before the time, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's up to you if you feel like. For me, it depends on whatever the thing is at the moment. There's some things you need to tell, but these days now, social media, like Mazina had mentioned, it has changed the way the world is, and it
yes.
will not go back to how it was before. A lot
Yeah,
of
we
the
need
times,
to
and a lot of the
progress.
times now, for a lot of things, you want the hype.
Yes,
hype.
yes.
Yeah, but my own is post it when you've come back. Not when you're about to go.
And then we are selective. Have you noticed that thing? When you've not received salary and it's getting close to the end of the month, you're like, they've not paid you. But the moment they get it, you just keep quiet. You
very
don't.
true.
If you ever post about not receiving money or they're owing you, when they pay you, if you don't
Please.
post it back,
Quality.
Oh my days.
Okay, it's about time for us to take the news update. Tokwe, it's all yours.
Yeah, thank you. We begin this hour in Bayelsa, where the state government has approached the Supreme Court seeking an order to stop the federal government from deducting monies from its statutory allocation and paying them to Rivers State. The cause of action rose from December 2019 judgment of a federal high court against the National Boundary Commission, which ceded the oil-rich Soko fields to Rivers State. Also, the Bayelsa state government is seeking an interlocutory injunction asking the Supreme Court to stop the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission from withholding its statutory allocation or deducting it in favor of Akwa Ibom State. No date has been fixed for the hearing. During the FEC meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the Nigeria at 60 logo as the countdown to the country's Diamond Jubilee begins. Earlier in September, the federal government had called on Nigerians to submit creative ideas that can be used for the anniversary, which is themed Together at 60.
With a deep feeling of national pride, and I hereby announce to you that together shall we be the theme of our nation's 60th anniversary celebration. Our founding fathers in spite of the differences in faith, tribe, and tongue, came together to fight for Nigeria's independence. This shall be a befitting tribute to the struggles of our heroes past.
14 days. That's the ultimatum given to the federal government by the Nigeria Labour Congress to reverse the increase in electricity tariff and fuel price. The decision was reached at the end of the Congress National Administrative Council and Central Working Committee meetings in Abuja. NLC President Ayuba Waba says the twin increments are having adverse effects on the people and should be reversed in the interest of the masses. There is a looming fuel scarcity in the Federal Capital Territory and other parts of northern Nigeria due to the shutdown of all link roads to Minna to heavy-duty trucks. The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association has now ordered the immediate stoppage of distribution of petroleum products from Lagos to the northern parts of the country till further notice. PTD, in a statement signed by its national chairman Salimon Oladiti, explained that the only alternative road is a death trap. The union is asking the Ministry of Works to do palliative and remedial works on the Bidda Agaila Pailambata road to make it motorable and safe from hoodlums. The Nigerian Air Force is scaling up operations in the northwest and north-central geopolitical zones of the country to address security concerns there. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, made this known after an operational visit to the Air Force Base in Kaduna. He thereafter inspected some ongoing research and development projects, as well as a road project in the base being executed pro bono by a construction firm based in Kaduna. He also visited the 431 Engineering Group hangar, where work is ongoing on the Diamond aircraft and other Nigerian Air Force platforms. It is now legal for male rape convicts in Kaduna to be castrated and bilateral sublectomy for females. This comes to effect as the Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai signed the Kaduna State Penal Code Amendments Law 2020. This is contained on the governor's verifiable Twitter handle. The law provides stiff penalties upon conviction for the rape of a child, including surgical castration for male and bilateral sublectomy for female convicts. The government believes the move would keep rapists in check, especially against juveniles. The Israeli military has carried out a series of air raids on the besieged Gaza Strip on Wednesday after rockets were fired into Israel during a normalization of ties signing ceremony with United Arab Emirates and Bahrain in the United States. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused the militants of seeking to stop the peace deals, Israel's first with an Arab country since 1994. But Gaza ruler Hamas warned Israel it faced an escalation if the bombing continued. Barely 2 weeks after a renewed Egyptian-brokered truce halted near nightly exchanges across the border through August. The signing of the two agreements at the White House ceremony hosted by President Donald Trump prompted protest rallies across the Palestinian territories. Well, that is it on News Update for this hour.
Hello and welcome back. It's about time for us to take a quick gander at what's happening on the covers of the newspapers this morning. Going to start with the Nation newspaper at this point. And yes, the big headline is petrol, electricity prices, labor issues ultimatum. Federal government to examine requests, says Ngige. Protests in Lagos, Osun. And it also says here, PACAC alleges plot to scrap EFCC. Senate reps should reject bill, says Sage. It says here, we'll forge a more united Nigeria at 60. 12-month activities begin. From left to right there, we have the Vice President, of course, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and the President himself unveiling the logo for Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary at the presidential villa yesterday. 30 sectors showed negative growth in half a year. Page 25 has more on that. NNPC begins refineries rehabilitation. Port Harcourt plant ready 2023. Meanwhile, terrorists create camp in Oyo North, says Adams. 8 injured as Jegede Akeredolu supporters clash. Moving to the bottom of the page there, kidnappers demand 20 million naira ransom on Ekiti abductee. and still protests over Yahoo Boy's death. Let's move to the cover of the Vanguard. Still on fuel, electricity, NLC draws battle line with federal government. Issues 11-day ultimatum, gives government till September 28th to reverse hikes. Says cost of electricity more than minimum wage in some places. NLC's CWC resolved to issue ultimatum. It also says Lagos police arrest and release 50 protesters, including one of the Vanguard photojournalists. And let's move along now. Nigeria, most prosperous black nation in the world, according to Buhari. NNPC to revive refineries. That was on the cover of another paper as well. Federal government will ensure Nigerian traders in Ghana get justice, according to Osinbajo. On Edo, 3 policemen to man each of the 2,627 polling booths. Police to withdraw orderlies from VIPs. Interagency committee control room has been set up. I'll wrap with this. A fuel crisis looms in FCT, entire north, as PTD orders tanker drivers to halt product lifting. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. Let's move to the Daily Sun. It says here, again, police abort power, fuel price hike protests in Lagos. Arrest, detain 35 as NLC gives federal government 14 days to reverse increase or face total shutdown. Meanwhile, TUC ultimatum is misplaced, according to Ngige, page 6. We'll have more info on that. Once again, there is a clear picture of the logo for Nigeria at 60 being unveiled yesterday. There seems to be a nice diamond in the center of the O there. Very apt. 5 injured as APC PDP supporters clash in Ondo. Ekiti, Osun moved to end boundary dispute. And on fuel price again, NNPC steps up efforts to revamp refineries, and Port Harcourt refinery will be ready in Q1 of 2023. Let's see what it says on the cover of the Daily Trust. Petrol price, electricity tariff. Again, NLC poised for shutdown, gives government 2-week ultimatum. It's misplaced. It's a misplaced decision, according to the federal government. Protests, of course, rock Lagos and Osun as fuel scarcity looms in FCT and the rest of the north. Meanwhile, 10 killed, many passengers missing in Borno attack. Page 10 has more on that. And El Rufai gives 100 million naira for Kaduna Cultural Hub. A flood kills 7-year-old boy, destroys 900 houses in Zamfara. And let's see what it says here. Sheikh Daru Bauchi denies supporting My Lafia. Foundation seeks apology. And let's see if I can wrap it up with this one. Concerns over rising attacks on Abuja-Kaduna train. Page 20 has more on that. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. And I think that's all we have time for at this point on the headlines in the dailies. Make sure you grab a copy or look out for our social media pages for some updates.
Welcome to the kitchen, people. With me this morning, we have the super talented chef Nathaniel of Natty Quincy. And today, in case you woke up wondering where we're traveling to, we're going to Asia. Yeah, so we're making
Asian flavored
potato. Now, why is it Asian flavored?
Because we are going to use oyster sauce and soy sauce.
And soy sauce. Okay, yeah. So to make our Asian flavored potatoes, I can see breadcrumbs.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, for our plantain?
No.
Oh, okay, surprise me. Okay. So we're using the breadcrumbs on our...
It's like the final, once the food is done, we just stir fry it and sprinkle.
Okay, and then why do we have plantain? What we do with plantain?
We are going to cook it with this.
So is it going to be like a side or is it going to be together? Yeah. Oh, so it's going to be like a jollof?
No, it's not necessary.
Hey,
just watching.
Allow me fantasize. Okay, so for this, what do we have?
We have potato, breadcrumbs, plantain, corn flour, oyster sauce, soy sauce. Then we have cooked beef.
Cooked beef, okay,
yes.
okay.
Then vegetable oil. Then we have dried herbs, rosemary, coriander, basil, curry, black pepper. Then we have our fresh
herbs,
then fruits and onions, garlic.
There's like a wide range of ingredients. Let me just quickly run through it. So if you want to scribble it down to prepare yours at home, we have garlic, potatoes, onions, plantain, sesame oil, dried herbs, fresh herbs, oyster sauce, light soy sauce, beef, pomo, tomatoes, and I'm sure you can see all that we have here. Also corn flour, cinnamon, bell peppers, black pepper, breadcrumbs, fruits, and vegetable. This is a very rich breakfast.
I intentionally
maybe rich. I like the fact that we're mixing fresh herbs and dried herbs, so I can imagine the flavors and the aroma that's going to be.
So the dried herbs will act more like seasoning.
Seasoning, okay.
The fresh herbs
add
more flavor.
Okay. So what are we starting with?
Starting with the potatoes.
Okay, so we're boiling.
Yes.
Okay.
Just boil everything.
So what do we do with the cucumbers? Are they for plating, or we're actually putting it in the food?
We're putting in the food.
Hey.
But you watch out everything.
I don't know where else you all want to be in the morning if you're not watching Wake Up Nigeria. Like, our chefs be giving us hot. So you're boiling this?
Yes, with the back.
Oh, okay,
It adds more nutrients to it.
Yes, of course it does.
And the reason why I would have boiled the potato with the back too, but potato is strong.
Yes.
And it will not really enter inside.
Okay, so you have to divide it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this is some very healthy morning breakfast. Okay.
So
that's gonna boil.
As that is boiling, so this is gonna be like reserve.
Okay.
So just going to chop.
Let me move this for you.
Okay. Just like, and there's a little trick I did with the for sake of color and everything, because now bell peppers are so expensive.
Yeah.
You can get something like this for 500.
But imagine.
Just one single. So what I did was to, we have red, yellow, and green.
Green, yes.
So I just opted for the yellow and some patches of green. Then our tomato would act as the red. Then instead of the green pepper, we have cucumber and herbs.
Oh, okay. So that's how we balance
instead of having like one.
So if you only cook on a budget, that's something you can consider. Yes. You can mix your vegetables. Always good. I mean, now that we're trying to boost our immune system, try as much as possible to pump your food with as much vegetables as possible. If it's expensive, if it's out of season, you can get those that are in season, like what Chef Nathaniel did here. Cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots. I think I saw garlic as well.
Yes, garlic.
Ooh, this is a
garlic
burst
and onions
of vitamins.
There's actually no food without garlic and onions.
For you.
It's always
It's a must, it's a no-brainer for you, right? It has to be there. But there's some people who don't like garlic because of
this is strong.
Smell. Yes. Strong.
So for those people, you can actually have the powder one.
Yes.
So
it's just flavor.
Inside, flavor. So they will not really perceive, because once you chop this and you have stir frying it,
it's very strong.
Yes. So you can just do it more to act more like the seasoning and everything. So
okay.
That's just why.
So we're gonna cut that. So see, I know I'm supposed to go process by process, but please indulge me. The beef now, are we gonna dice it?
Yes.
So it's jollof, Joe.
It's not jollof. It's to be for the sauce.
Oh, okay. There's a sauce.
Yeah,
separately.
like Chinese sauce.
Okay.
So you're gonna need bell peppers and the beef.
Okay.
So it's just
the beef. Okay. I get you.
It's not jollof. You cannot.
Your people at home, are you people as inquisitive as I am? Asian potatoes. Okay, so you know what, we're going to keep at this, else I will take over the entire show. But we have Titi on standby, ready to take us away. Titi.
Thank you, Tokwe. Now we're going on to something really interesting. Lagos Mums, in partnership with the Department of State Bureau of Economic and Business Affairs, providing opportunities for women's economic rise, has come up with the Technology as an Enabler for Growth program. The program will be working with leading technology to focus on the use of tech as an enabler to scale and grow women-owned businesses. We have on the line founder of Lagos Mums, Yeti Williams. Now, she's a regular here on the show, and she's here to talk to us about this. Welcome back to the show, Yeti.
Good morning, Titi. How are you?
Good morning. It's great to see you. Now, this is a really important topic, a really important project. But could it be said that the only way to scale up a business is via technology?
Yes, that is what that's what I believe. That's what I've done. And looking at a lot of businesses today, we have billions of people who are online. So really, the market is huge. And if you want to scale, you have to be using technology to do that.
So, you know, there has been a lot of debate on what is best for the average woman to use to scale. But then you yourself have been able to take your platform from passion to profit. I know it's taken a while, but just talk to us about how you were able to get that done.
Okay, yes. So, you know, when I started Lagos Moms, it really was something that was a hobby, and it was really just to connect parents. I had a lot of questions as a new mom, and I found that I was going online quite a bit. So I called myself a Google warrior in the early days. And that was where, you know, like we mentioned before, I found that there was this gap, and there wasn't very much for me as a mom in Lagos speaking to me from Nigeria. So that's where it started. And over the years, we're a 99%, you know, digital company, because most of our things are online. And it's from there that we have grown and scaled to the level that we are now, totally using digital media, technology, social media as tools to grow. So that's why I really believe that, you know what, honestly, if I could do it, I'm not a techie, but I understood and tapped into how to use technology to grow. And I've worked with some brands that I would never have imagined before technology I could even have ever contacted. I think that's why I'm so passionate about this conversation, especially for women-owned businesses, so that they don't leave opportunities on the table.
Okay, so in the past, I've come across so many amazing female entrepreneurs through different platforms on social media, WhatsApp groups, all sorts. But then again, a lot of these businesses do scale up in their own way, but it's often been said women-owned businesses do not scale up quick enough. Why do you think this is the case?
So I think two of the biggest reasons for that is, first of all, that a lot of women-owned businesses actually tend to sometimes also be, you know, they might also have families, so they have children, so they have something else that's also demanding, you know, taking their time. So I find that sometimes that struggle between doing it all, having it all, work-life balance, sometimes slows women down in terms of really pushing and going as fast as they can. I think that's one thing. The other side of it is really that sometimes we're very comfortable thinking, you know, we grow, but when we talk about scaling, many times it's because we're not using the tools that would help us to truly scale. And honestly, to scale at an exponential rate, technology is a key player in that. And during my years of doing this and consulting women as well who want to use digital to grow, there's some fear and trepidation around technology. Either we feel we don't understand it, or we don't get it, or we think we can't code, so therefore it's not for us. So I think some of those limiting beliefs also come into how, you know, businesses can be doing well. When we're talking about that mega scaling growth, sometimes that's not happening.
Okay, so let's talk about how this initiative actually plans to help these women. What exactly is the plan? What is the step-by-step?
Okay. So the step-by-step is we have the applications open right now, and anybody can apply to be part of this program. There are a certain set of criteria, but very simple criteria. You need to be female, you need to be Nigerian, your business needs to be registered and at least 3 years old. There's a website, lagosmoms.com/power. So very simple, lagosmoms.com/power. And if you go there and you click the link, you fill it out. We're closing out applications end of September 24th. After that, we're going to review all the entries we have gotten, and we're then going to pick 100 women. And what's going to happen with those 100 women is the first week in November 2nd to 6th, we're going to have an intensive online 5 days of training on how to use technology. We also have different partners. Google is a partner as well. We have different facilitators that are going to come on. And it's not just about telling them what to do, but how to do it. And I think that's also the different thing. A lot of us know what we need to do. We need to do this, we need to do that. But in terms of the how, in terms of the application, that's really where we spend a lot of time so that these women truly go away with a plan, a technology and digital plan to implement into their businesses.
All right, now thank you so much, Yeti Williams, for coming to share this with us. So once again, that's LagosMoms.com/power for more information on this amazing initiative. Thanks so much for supporting women out there back to back. It's so great to have you as part of our family here at Wake Up Nigeria. And hey, we have so much more to come on the show. Wake Up Nigeria continues after this quick break.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It's our tech segment this Thursday morning. And of course, we have a cybersecurity expert, Confidence Stavely, aka CCNet. She's right here with us this morning. We'll be discussing about 3 cyber-safe security measures for SMEs. Hello, CCNet. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning, Mike. I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, good. So let's get straight to it. We're talking about 3 cyber-safe measures for SMEs, right?
Yes.
How important is it, first of all, for SMEs to be safe online?
SMEs make a major part of the economy, and although a lot of the smaller enterprises get to see themselves as not being targets of cyber attacks, COVID-19 and the cyber attacks that have heralded it have shown that SMEs have become a soft target for cyber attacks and for cyber criminals to target. So it's important that SMEs take precautionary measures to stay safe and to leverage technology in doing business.
Okay, so let's get straight to it. What is the first method that cyber-safe method that SMEs can use?
A very cheap and inexpensive method that SMEs can take. The first one would be to turn on an extra layer of security. And this is very important, especially with the spray of hacked social media accounts and email accounts we've seen in the past couple of months. It's important that you turn on an extra layer of security, which is usually called multi-step verification or 2-factor authentication. This just means that even if a hacker is able to guess your password, they will still need a one-time password that is sent to your phone to be able to access your Instagram account. I mean, I've seen businesses that have built Instagram following into thousands, and then one day you just randomly see a post that is saying, oh, make this investment, and you know that post is not coming from the business owner. It's just simply by a hacker that's hijacked their account. And imagine the impact that can have, because these social media accounts have become the showcase for this business to put out their products and interact with their customers. So it's important that you turn on 2-factor on all of your important accounts, all of your social media accounts and your email accounts as well too.
Now, there's something a number of people ask also. After accounts have been hacked, what's the process like getting it back? Can it be gotten? How can it be gotten?
It's usually very cumbersome, really, because hackers have gotten very, very tricky and very, very skilled at this thing. So you see that 2-factor I'm talking about, you're basically lazy at turning on. When a hacker gets in, they shut people out by turning on 2-factor, which stamps them as the owner of the account, so to speak. So the process is very, from there on, is almost hopeless.
If you don't turn 2-factor and it is hacked, the hacker now turns on 2-factor and makes it harder for you to even get it back. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. In experience, this has exactly been the case.
All right.
The second measure I'd also be talking about is using licensed antivirus. So a lot of people maybe say, oh, I'm using a Mac, I don't need an antivirus, they don't hack Macs. Or you say, okay, let me just go and get one free antivirus to use. Or I don't even need an antivirus altogether. Who knows me to hack me? Guys, that's a very big lie, because like I said earlier on, the stats are actually showing it. Deloitte actually put out a well put together piece on this. So small and medium scale enterprises are continuously being targeted, because unlike the big enterprises, they do not have the people, the processes, or the technology to protect themselves. So it's important to just invest a little token a year. Say, I think there are antiviruses that allow you to pay, I think, $25 a full year. You can get those antiviruses and protect the data you're collecting from your customers, protect your systems, and also help you with identifying phishing links, identifying fishy and dodgy websites that you might have otherwise clicked on it if not for your antivirus. So it's important that you get a good antivirus and one that you can always get updates from, not a free one or one that is unlicensed or cracked, that you will not be able to get regular updates from the developers of that antivirus.
All right, now just before we go to the third one, for the sake of those who don't really understand, what is a phishing link and how can it be identified and all of that?
Okay, so a phishing link is a link that is basically set up and sent to you via email to make you give up confidential information without your knowledge. Confidential information could include your login information, it could include your banking details, it could include giving harmful software access to your computer. So those are some of the things that a malicious link or a harmful link can do to you. And in so doing, you give somebody unauthorized access to information that they can use to hurt you or hurt your business.
All right.
So that's what a phishing link is, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. For those that don't know. Okay, so let's move on to the third cyber-safe method for SMEs.
Okay, so I was just going to go to that one where you mentioned about identifying phishing links. I was like, you're really in the spirit, because my third point is actually to teach your employees to actually identify phishing links. You as a business owner and the employees that you work with, it's very important that they are able to identify phishing links, because like we've talked about antiviruses, now we also need to build humans that are able to protect and be the first line of defense for your organization. Because if you do not put this in place, with all the antiviruses you could get in the world and everything, if somebody clicks on a phishing link and goes through with whatever person needs to do, they will put your business at risk. So it's important that you as a business owner and all of your employees begin to identify what phishing emails look like. So some of the key identifiers is, for example, does the email address exactly what it should be? For example, because most phishing emails impersonate trusted organizations like your bank, like your service provider, being Netflix, for example, like your service provider like Microsoft that's giving you maybe your word processing application. So most phishing emails would impersonate those organizations to make you gain trust in them and give your details out. So look out for the email address that's sending you that information. Look out for mail that is sent to you. Put your mouse over the link that is being asked, that they ask you to click, and see if it's actually leading to say the impersonated organization's real website. So it's important to actually learn. There are more details to this, and really people can access this training for free right now on our platforms. If you sign up on cybersafefoundation.org, and we'll teach you how to actually identify phishing emails and phishing links. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Now, just very briefly before we round up, you have something that SMEs that is up now, that SMEs in Nigeria can take advantage of when it comes to cybersecurity. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Okay, so it's a Safe Digital Community during COVID-19 project, and this big project became necessary given the increase of cyber attacks that we began to see. And really, COVID-19 has created a perfect backdrop for cybercrime to happen and thrive. So what we're doing with SMEs, because they are one of their job is to be able to identify and, of course, protect these organizations from being victims of cybercrime. And we're doing this for absolutely free. All you need to do is go to cybersafefoundation.org and click sign up, and then fill out the details there to either join the Cyber Aware Learning Track or the Cyber Up Learning Track. And either all of them are free. It's just to get your employees to a place where cybersecurity is improved in your organization.
All right, thank you so very much. We appreciate that. I hope people were able, I'm sure people were able to get all of that. We'll make this available for people to check out on YouTube. Thank you very much, CNED. More grease to your elbows. All right, so I hope you're able to pick something there. Cybersecurity is something that you cannot take for granted. Ensure that you keep yourself cyber safe as much as you can. Somewhere that's very safe, of course, is the kitchen. And ensuring that there's no hacker. Titi was trying to hack into the kitchen, but I trust Temitope Olowoniyo was ensuring that security was guaranteed around Chef Nathaniel, who is the most very important now. So the security is still okay. The security, they're holding that down in the kitchen. They're still okay.
Yes, the security here in the kitchen is 100%, I can tell you, for free. I am securing this territory from Titi. Yes, Chef Nathaniel has been cooking up a storm here. If you're just joining us, we are preparing our Asian potatoes and plantain. We all know that Chef Nathaniel, if he does not put plantain, he has not started cooking. Someone said Chef Nathaniel plantain. Okay, so we just boiled our potatoes and plantain. Yeah. And now, what are we working on? What are we creating?
We're going to stir fry the veggies and the plantain.
And the plantain.
Yeah, so that will just give it much flavor.
Flavor, yeah. So now, cutting the garlic. Remember, we said if you're particular about smell or taste, if you're going to go out right after cooking, you might want to use the powdered garlic for this. And he's using a lot of herbs. That we have the fresh herbs and the dry herbs as well.
So just...
Okay, do you want me to carry this out? Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to run through our menu for the benefit of people who are just joining. And if you want to quickly scribble down to prepare your Asian potato and plantain, we have our mixed veggies. We have cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, yellow bell peppers, garlic, onions, plantain, sesame oil, dried herbs, fresh herbs, oyster sauce, light soy sauce, beef pomo, tomatoes, corn flour, cinnamon, bell peppers, black pepper, breadcrumbs, fruits and vegetables. So what are we using the corn flour for? As a thickener or?
Yes, for the sauce.
For the sauce. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, well, there you have it. The second hour is up. There's so much time goes so fast while we are having fun. But we're going to go on a break. We're coming back for the next 45 minutes. You definitely don't want to go anywhere. There's so much happening in the kitchen, and there's so much more left on the show. We'll be right back.
All right.
Yes, indeed, guys.
Yeah.
Talking about back to school. I shared a story yesterday. I don't know if any of you saw it. It was a story of this guy who tells his friend back in school. He says this is one of the reasons why he hates secondary school, because he had a very traumatic experience where he told his friend about a dream where he was flying, and then his friend tells everybody else and his mother at home, who tells him, stay away from him, is a witch.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So the story went round school, and then everybody started avoiding him, so they called him for school fellowship. And when they called him, they started praying for him and asked him to confess. 11-year-old boy, what would he do? He had to confess, JS1, that he's a witch.
Oh my
So they prayed for him,
No.
asked him to drink anointing oil, and then they said to him, oh yeah, how many people have you converted into this witchery of a thing?
My
No.
And then he now thinks, this is my time to get back. He calls everybody he had a peeve with, everybody he didn't like, including the person who he told the story to, who spread the rumor.
Oh my God.
All of you are all witches.
Like we are all witches.
So he said they never forgave him for all 6 years of secondary school.
That's good.
But my question was that I don't know this thing about religion in schools, whether they mix. I wish Emin was here. She would have started breaking tables because she went to a religious school.
Yeah.
And the way he was, I mean, can you do that to a child? Can you cast out a demon? Without consent.
It's a very delicate balance that most schools are trying to achieve with the religion thing. They want to put in the moral aspects and the ethics aspects of religion without putting the spiritual holy everything.
That without religion being the...
Some schools are trying.
Yeah, my secondary school had like a moral, it was social studies and moral knowledge. So apart from social studies, they just teach you right and wrong on certain things. And then because I grew up in the north, and Islam is predominantly, it's predominantly Islam. So we still had what they call the CRK, but you know the environment that you're in. But moral studies was higher than religious
Tell
studies.
me you speak Hausa.
Fluently.
Wow.
For real?
Really? Yeah.
God, you just became my best host.
Are you going to pay me money?
No, because the Hausa language is such a regal language, and when a woman speaks it, it's beautiful.
And I hear it's really easy to learn, though. It's easier than Igbo and Yoruba. Yeah.
Nice. So good. I love you.
News update is about to begin. Please, Tokwe, don't read it in Hausa. Read it in English.
Are you sure? Okay, we begin this hour in Bayelsa, where the state government has approached the Supreme Court seeking an order to stop the federal government from deducting monies from its statutory allocation and paying them to Rivers State. The cause of action arose from a December 2019 judgment of a federal high court against the National Boundary Commission, which ceded the oil-rich Soko fields to Rivers State. Also, the Bayelsa state government is seeking an interlocutory injunction asking the Supreme Court to stop the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission from withholding its statutory allocation or deducting it in favor of Akwa Ibom State. No date has been fixed for hearing. During the FEC meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the Nigeria at 60 logo as the countdown to the country's Diamond Jubilee begins. Earlier in September, the federal government had called on Nigerians to submit creative ideas that can brand the anniversary, which is themed Together at 60.
With a deep feeling of national pride, and I hereby announce to you that together shall we be the theme of our nation's 60th anniversary celebration. Our founding fathers, in spite of the differences in faith, tribe, and tongue, came together to fight for Nigeria's independence. This shall be a befitting tribute to the struggles of our heroes past.
14 days. That's the ultimatum given to the federal government by the Nigeria Labour Congress to reverse the increase in electricity tariff and fuel price. The decision was reached at the end of the Congress National Administrative Council and Central Working Committee meetings in Abuja. NLC President Ayuba Waba says the twin increments are having adverse effects on the people and should be reversed in the interest of the masses. There is a looming fuel scarcity in the Federal Capital Territory and other parts of northern Nigeria due to the shutdown of all link roads to Minna to heavy-duty trucks. The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association has now ordered the immediate stoppage of distribution of petroleum products from Lagos to the northern parts of the country till further notice. PTD, in a statement signed by its national chairman Salimon Oladiti, explained that the only alternative road is a death trap. The union is asking the Ministry of Works to do palliative and remedial work on the Bidda Agai-Lapa Lambata Road to make it motorable and safe from hoodlums. The Nigerian Air Force is scaling up operations in the northwest and north-central geopolitical zones of the country to address security concerns there. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, made this known after an operational visit to the Air Force base in Kaduna. He thereafter inspected some ongoing research and development projects, as well as a road project in the base, being executed pro bono by a construction firm based in Kaduna. He also visited 431 Engineering Group hangar, where work is ongoing on the Diamond aircraft and other Nigerian Air Force platforms. It is now legal for male rape convicts in Kaduna to be castrated and bilateral subglectomy for females. This comes to the effect as the Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai signed the Kaduna State Penal Code Amendment Law 2020. This is contained on the governor's verifiable Twitter handle. The law provides stiff penalties upon conviction for the rape of a child, including surgical castration for male and bilateral slapigectomy for female convicts. The government believes the move would keep rapists in check, especially against juveniles. The Israeli military has carried out a series of air raids on the besieged Gaza Strip on Wednesday after rockets were fired into Israel during a normalization of ties signing ceremony with United Arab Emirates in Bahrain in the United States. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused the militants of seeking to stop the peace deals, Israel's first with any Arab country since 1994. But Gaza ruler Hamas warned Israel it faced an escalation if the bombing continued. Barely 2 weeks after a renewed Egyptian brokerage truce halted near nightly exchanges across the border through August. The signing of the two agreements at a White House ceremony hosted by President Donald Trump prompted protest rallies across the Palestinian territories. Well, that's it on the news on Wake Up Nigeria for today. we will be going to Mike in the Guardian to see what he has there for us.
It's Thursday, I know how it is, our art display. I have a very, very intriguing and interesting artist this morning, Ogochukwu. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Now, why I say very intriguing is that your style of art is something that I have rarely seen. Maybe I've almost not seen. It's very, very unique. Talk to us about your style of art. What style of art do you do?
I explore a lot with my artworks, and you know, when you have feelings, you don't usually have the same emotion all the time. So it kind of changes a lot, but either way, it kind of remains. I try to put it down to a particular trend. So the lines in the background of my works are usually my trademark, more like, regardless of whatever it is I'm feeling in the artwork itself. But the lines are constant, and they kind of depict where I come from or my line of art so far.
Okay, wonderful. So let's talk about this work. Does it have a name?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's it titled, and let's talk about it.
The title of the work is Victory.
Okay.
So you know how you have this all of a sudden success, and instead of going down on one knee to thank God, you just start doing all those things. So this actually boils down to you understanding that it's not just about you. There's also another power that is behind your success.
That is behind your success.
Yes, you should give thanks for it.
Okay. Something I can say that's quite unique across all your works is that you like maybe people sitting down, because this one is a picture of somebody maybe clasping her.
Yeah, he's kneeling
his
down.
knee or something, which is a little bit close to this one. Let's talk about this one. What is this? What is this?
Okay. Recently, I was working with. I had this emotional outburst about ladies, rape, neglect, and things like that. So this work and this one.
Okay, both of them are
in the same series.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is it? What is it depicting?
Okay, so you definitely see a lady sitting down and holding her legs together. So it's more like when you're when you have things like rape coming to you as a lady, you've gone through it, there is this process of thought that comes to you. And
okay, just hold your thought there. Thank you for staying with us. So we're back. We have Ogochukwu in the house. We're talking about our artworks now. Where we had the break, we're talking about this piece addressing the issues of rape and violence against women. This and the other one are two pieces in the pot. They tell about the same story, right?
Exactly.
So how were you trying to address the issue with this piece?
Okay, so it's more like making people understand what ladies go through when they have these issues of rape. That some people, like, there was a news that came up before about someone coming out to say that she was raped by a pastor at some certain time, and people were against her, like, why now, and all that, you know. But the thing I've come to understand is that there is this psychological effect that happens to
trauma.
people. And
it can go on for years, for decades,
and so
for a very long time.
This particular piece just talks about that trauma of seclusion, staying on your own, not wanting to relate with anybody on that note, just trying to come to terms with what has happened to you.
And then even when you bring it out, the stigmatization that follows.
Yes. So people don't understand what people go through, especially the male folk.
Exactly.
So we want to say it and tell people that, oh, it actually happens. It's like going insane, but you're trying to put it together.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's talk about this one. I can see two people sitting back to back and all of that, and probably, or is this a mirror? Either a mirror or people sitting back to back. Okay. Let's talk about this piece. What is it? Is it titled?
Yes, the title is Togetherness.
Togetherness. All right.
So
all right.
It's actually reference to marriage.
Oh, okay.
In my own eyes, what I think marriage should look like.
Okay.
Or
so what should it look like in your eyes?
I feel the women folk should be the head. They should be the one, not literally. You're smiling.
Okay. No, I love where you're coming from, because maybe it takes me through another, looking at you through the eyes of a woman and what you exactly mean. Let's see your angle. What do you mean by you want the woman to be the head?
Not physically the head, like the man should do the man work. I mean, the hard work, go back, come back home, provide for the family and all that. But behind, it's the woman that encourages the man, make sure he gets cleaned up, make sure has a stable mindset and all. And most women don't do that nowadays because they have this right of, we are equal, we should be doing this, no, I should work, no. But in the olden days when people were still together, like when our culture was still very much obvious, the women were the ones that were taking care of the home, making sure everything ran very smoothly in the home, and they weren't working, but they were going to the farm, but they were also helping the
I like
man.
where you're coming from. You're basically saying that it's a symbiotic and complementary relationship.
Exactly.
That's the thing that you expect in marriage or in a union.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. So let's talk about the centerpiece. This is a marvelous piece of work. Even though I still feel that's togetherness feel in this one.
Okay.
But let's talk about this. What is this about? What's the title? What's it about?
This is the relationship between a sister and a sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
One is younger.
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
Okay.
So I growing up didn't have a sister.
Oh wow.
And I was always moved to go to other people's house, my cousins, and see how they relate.
How they relate.
And I see, oh, sisterly bond. Oh, I wish I had a sister.
Did you have a brother?
Yes, I do have a brother.
Okay.
But
there are some things that, of course, you can relate with your sister that you can't with a brother.
Exactly. So, but this artwork, this was done after my sister was giving birth to.
Okay.
Right. So it kind of brought that, thank God now I have a sister.
Okay.
You know, so it's more like a love for sisterhood.
Sister. I
Yeah.
like this. Before we round up, let's talk about how did you get into art professionally? Is it something that you had always wanted to do? Is it something that you are very satisfied doing?
Actually, anytime I think about it, I don't know what else I would do. I don't know what else I would do.
So there's fulfillment in this.
Exactly. Even if there's no money. When I was starting up, yes, there was no money.
Okay.
There was nothing coming in, but I just had to push ahead because even if you think about it, what else would I do? You know? So, yeah, being an artist has always been a life-fulfilling dream.
Okay.
And pushing ahead and getting ahead and being, will I say, famous for it is one of the things I want to do. Yes,
Wonderful.
and I keep doing it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And let's hope that you are on your way to the top.
And,
see you at the top.
Okay, and I wanted to quickly mention though,
very fast.
We have an exhibition coming up.
Okay.
The SNA group, October Rain. It's titled October Rain. So it's on the 3rd of October.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. I love art exhibitions. You should go check out one.
Thank you.
Let's head back into the studio. Mazino has something up for us. Hello, Mazino.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. And you are welcome back again inside the studio. Today, lawyer, blogger, and founder of Legal Naija, Adedumade Onibokun, has joined us this morning for a book chat to discuss his book, Social Media for Lawyers. Oh, this one right here. Good morning, Adedumade. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm great, thank you.
I'm good too. Hey, my name is Mazino. Can I call you Made? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Great.
Oh, fantastic. By the way, we have a friend in common, but we'll talk about that one later. Welcome inside Book Chat. So I have with me here your very interesting book, Social Media for Lawyers. And I must say that of everybody in Nigeria, you took the most advantage of the lockdown to write a book. And congratulations on your very interesting forward from the Chief Judge himself, Federal High Court of Nigeria, J.T. Tosho.
Oh.
That was a fantastic one. You're actually very influential, aren't you? All right, so...
No, I am not.
You seem so.
I am not, no.
But let's talk about this book here. A very interesting book. Especially in a world where every boundary seems to be breaking, like you also noted in your book, Social Media for Lawyers. When did it come to you, or when did you become aware of the fact that it's also very important for lawyers to note that social media influences their jobs as well, and in fact, the jurisdiction in general?
All right, so I've known that for a while now, and how I came up with that, or how I came to understand that, was via my activities via the Legal Niger blog. So obviously we had a blog, and we needed to get our content to as many people as possible, because our passion is to educate people on the law. So we had to find social media and use it in a way that we could get as much visibility as possible. And over time, I just realized that it helped in one way or the other professionally for me as well. But that was not even my focus. My focus was the fact that the public also gets to learn as well.
Yeah.
For instance, on the blog now, we've had over 2.8 million views.
Oh,
And
wow.
I believe that every time someone visits the blog or has visited the blog, you know, they've been able to learn one thing about the law, learn one thing about the legal question they've had, or learn one thing about a legal problem that they're trying to solve. So I believe that the more lawyers are out there trying to use the internet to educate people, the more advantage it can also bring for their practice. So it's like providing value. When you give value as a lawyer, even online to client, what you have put out as content or who the content speaks to particularly,
Yeah.
especially if they have a legal question in that area where you practice, then
Yeah.
it's great opportunity for both the lawyer and for the public as well.
Now, being a lawyer, it's a very peculiar type of profession. It's one where you cannot advertise. In your chapter 2 of the book, you actually brushed on this fact, but you also kind of like bends the rules a bit when it comes to the use of social media in creating communities where you push content. Advertising is another profession where you can't advertise what you do, just like you guys as lawyers. But how do you explain this in layman's terms without breaking the law, if you get me?
Okay, so when you mentioned the word bend the law, that's quite interesting because people say that about lawyers all the time, that they don't break the law, but they know how to bend the law. Okay, so particularly for us as practitioners, just like you mentioned, we are not allowed to advertise. But the law enables us or allows us to educate. It allows us to inform. It allows us to write public opinion pieces and also to even write opinion, do that. And
Oh, dear. We seem to have lost him there. I'm hoping we're going to get that connection back. But while we're getting that connection, there's a very interesting part of his book which I'd like to read here on how to convert clients from social media. This was the most exciting part of the book in chapter 8 for me. And I'm going to read this out to you guys, and hopefully we'll get him back by the end of this. Very short, don't worry. He says, social media is not just a tool for connecting and engaging with your customers. Social media is important for business and can be used to drive leads and increase conversions. The key is using it correctly, he says. Social media marketing needs to be a priority for many businesses across all industries. A big advantage of using social media as a lawyer and devoting the energy and resources to creating value through your content is that you get to attract people and businesses who require legal services and may be interested in retaining your legal expertise. The fact is, being able to attract clients is a major ROI for your social media time, and that is what makes expending all that energy on creating and executing a great social media plan worth the while. And this is the cake. Personally, he says, my very first highest paying brief came in form of an Instagram direct message, and several colleagues have also shared their experience on how they were able to get legal briefs as a result of their social media activity. Now, in his book, what he actually did was create a community where you can teach people about legal terms or about what they should know about the law. And eventually, when they need to go or when they need that resource, you would be the person that they would come to. We might not be able to get him back, but I'm hoping that we will be able to have him back on the show today, maybe some other time, unfortunately. But it's a very interesting book. If you're still watching and listening, Adedumade, I've consumed it. I found it very, very interesting. And I'm sure that when we have you back, we'll be able to ask those very important questions that we could have done today. But hey, it's all good. Wake Up Nigeria is always here, so we'll have you back soon. So let's do a break now, and when we get back, it's more goodness to wrap up the show in just about a bit. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazino Theo.
Welcome back. Now, it's been months of lockdown and staying out of school for the kids, but come Monday, the hustle and grind of school life will begin again. And parents, teachers, caregivers all over the world, well, all over Nigeria, have to do their bit to keep children safe. We have Dr. Chibuki Aigbe with us, and he's going to join us to talk about some tips when it comes to safety. And our quality improvement manager at Avon HMO, and she's over 8 years of experience in clinical and administrative medicine. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Good morning.
Is this better?
Hi, yes, fantastic.
Hi, good morning.
Great to hear from you. Great to see you.
But I guess
now
we'll have to make do.
We are both smiling at this point about this topic, but there are some parents that do not have smiles on their faces right now. They're nervous, they're anxious, they don't know exactly what's going to happen. First of all, let's talk about expectations. When it comes to the health of our kids, when they get back to school, what should parents look out for?
So the truth about the matter is everybody is still very much apprehensive, like you said, about this COVID-19. However, education is key. Education remains key. I mean, we're less afraid if we don't know what to do and what this is all about. So first and foremost, I think parents have to educate their children, no matter how young. You know, your toddlers, your kids in primary school, secondary school, and even university. And even if you have kids with special needs, they should be aware that there's this disease and how to prevent it, and, you know, preventive measures. I mean, education should start from the home, even before school. And the schools also expected, on the best safety measures and procedures to keep children safe. What specific steps they're taking to keep their ward safe?
Okay, so I'm on you know, the PTA of my children's school, of course, and they've already started having meetings, putting things together. They've drawn up an action plan. So for parents now, I believe they should have some kind of action plan as well, preparing for going back to school. What are the things you believe parents should put in place before that dreaded Monday resumption date?
So good thing is that most schools are starting to stagger resumption, physical schools. So what they have started with is online schooling for now, okay? And then parents who are comfortable enough to let the kids resume, because having school resume is one thing, and having parents actually comfortable enough to resume school is another thing. So parents who are comfortable enough to resume school, have the kids resume school, actually do resume school. It's not even 5 days a week. So we're expecting that the school makes available simple checks, temperature checks, right? Even staggered times of resumption. So you don't have a situation where school students are rushing into school, okay? We should have a staggered time of resumption, make it an open time. You don't have students who also come in too early or resume too late, right? So each class should have a specific time of resumption or even a specific day of being in school, so as to maintain a particular number of students available at the same time in class. Having said that, we also want the school to make a sick bay available, right? And well-equipped sick bay at that, okay? And even have access to, so even if the school might not have an ambulance, the school should have access to an ambulance so that in case there's an emergency, they're able to convey the ill child to a hospital. Thirdly, you should have a school, the school should be able to have access, very quick access to COVID-19 testing centers, okay, or have contact with doctors or diagnostic centers that can come into school to have children who are suspected to have COVID-19 tested. Having said all this, okay, I mean, kids will always be kids, right?
Very true.
I find it difficult to believe that you should have the teachers supervise these children a bit more closely than they would have on a normal day. So parents should let their kids go to school with face masks, breathable face masks, not one, not two, but at least 3, right? And teach them how to safely put them on and safely take them out, right?
Okay.
I mean, you should know that label your face mask so that you don't have kids sharing face masks. So yours looks cooler than mine, and the teachers are confused which face mask belongs to which kids. So you should label your children's face masks. If you can afford the disposable ones, fine. If you have them reusable, that's okay as well. But I mean, as many as possible. Also have
so I hear you
hand
saying
sanitizers or alcohol, at least 60%.
So I hear you saying basically give your children
wipe down their
some protective
workstations,
gear
wipe down
to
their
wear.
hands.
I hear you saying give your children some protective gear to wear every day, but then there is that worry that, you know, kids are going to be kids. For instance, if you give your child a very nice, very colorful, playful one that the child is interested in wearing, you know, what's the chance that your child might just decide to exchange it with another child and say, you know, I don't want this Mickey Mouse mask. I want this, you know, I want this Bugs Bunny mask, and exchange it. You know, so those worries are always there. What is it that parents can do at home to actually monitor and see if their children are actually still healthy after the first 2 weeks? Because they do say if, for instance, a child or anyone is to be infected, it'll take 14 days for anybody to notice. So what should parents do in that regard?
So like I had mentioned earlier, so there's only, the parents should label each face mask. So each face mask should bear the child's name, and the teacher should also be aware and closely supervise them. So if you had 2 teachers to a class normally, you should have 3 teachers now, right? Also wear face masks themselves, especially if they're going to work closely with the kids. Even if they, you know, so typically in the class, you have your teacher standing right in front of the class giving talks. At that time, the teacher may not have to wear a face mask because it's not very close, even though that there could be an inoculum, the teacher could release droplets if infected, right, to the student. So a face shield could do. But if the teacher is going to come close to a child to monitor the child should wear a face mask. So the teacher should wear a face mask and the child should wear a face mask if you're coming to look over the child to see what the child is doing. So I'm saying that the teachers, the responsibility and the onus is on the teachers to look at these children and supervise them more closely, you know, so that at any given time you're able to pick, oh no, this child is not with my face, he's not wearing his face mask that he came with, or Oluwa is wearing Temitope's mask or Hassan's mask because it's boldly written on the face mask.
Okay. Now, there are some other things, you know, we have to wrap it up now, but just to say that, you know, parents are anxious about this all over the world. It's not just us. It's just something we're going to have to go through. Thank you so much, Dr. Chibuki, for sharing with us today. And yeah, let's talk a little bit more about this on social media. Use our handles and our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Thanks, Doc. Wow, it is definitely a very brand new era. Things have changed, really. And I know that, well, despite the changes, some things remain the same. Our lovely viewers have been standing by to see what our chef has put together for us. Nathaniel is always hard at work in the kitchen whenever he comes in. I'm wondering what it's looking like.
Wow. Yes, Chef Nathaniel definitely took us on another trip this morning, all the way to Asia. Chef Nathaniel, I must say the breadcrumbs is it for me. The breadcrumbs is it today. And the fresh herbs, people, the fresh herbs are everything. Could you just quickly run us through how we achieved this morning?
Okay, so we did Asian flavored potatoes sauce.
Yes.
So what we did was to boil the potatoes and the plantain. Then we stir-fried it with vegetables, soy sauce, and oyster sauce. Then for the sauce, cooked beef, we just add water and the veggies. And
all right. So it was like steamed or stewed,
yes.
not stewed,
No,
steamed.
no, just boiled. Yeah,
Okay,
just.
fantastic. Okay, so is this breakfast, lunch, dinner? Which one would you put this one on your menu? Which menu would you add it?
Okay. It depends because for the hot sauce, you can have it for breakfast, especially in the cold weather.
Yes.
Then for this, you can have it for lunch.
All right. So he said hot sauce. So who's tasting this?
I don't know. On Tuesday, they almost traumatized me.
No.
So I've learned not to be too eager.
No, don't worry. Mary is not here. Mary's not
Okay,
here.
if you insist.
Yes, not here.
If you insist. If you insist.
All right, then. So this is
What are these, potatoes?
potatoes,
Okay.
plantains, vegetables.
I can taste the crumbs in there. And they're fresh vegetables too.
Yes,
Very fresh.
Very nice.
So there's always a crunch with Chef Nathaniel's food.
There's always a plantain.
As in,
There's always a plantain.
Always. So what do you think?
Fantastic. That's lunch. Let me try this one and see.
Okay.
Very spicy.
All right then.
Nice.
Very, very
Hot
spicy.
sauce. Okay, and with that, we have to say a big thank you to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories. Of course, a big shout out to all of you that stay tuned every single morning. We appreciate all of you as well. Mazino is really busy.
He's so busy.
And Chef Nathaniel, thank you so much for coming to share
Thank you, Nathaniel.
your menu.
Fantastic stuff.
All
Good
right.
one.
Great.
Okay.
Speaking
everybody.
of fantastic, tomorrow morning is going to be epic. It's gonna be
Game day!
Okay, game day. I haven't said it's game day yet.
No, we missed it, so do it already.
Tomorrow is game day! So, you'll hear us tomorrow from 6 a.m., y'all. Bye!
Bye, everybody.